Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Into the Mind podcast. Today, I'm sitting down with one of the most exciting names in British boxing.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the undefeated
story of the slick southpaw. I think you'd say to this point as well, Steve, he's hunting it, body shot, doubles it.
The reality is, beat this guy. I need to beat this guy. There's no two questions about it.
Lana for 4 weeks, and down he goes.
People want to see knockouts, people want to see violence.
Look, I don't mind the aggression from McGregor. That's out for 3 or 4 rounds now. Be reckless because you've seen already.
I'm a nice enough guy, but when it comes to boxing, like, if it's not you, it's them.
You're gassed, you've fucking broken your nose, you're covered in sweat and blood. Why are you there?
He's the reason that I'm not getting time with my daughter. This guy's taking food off my table. He's taking time away from my family. Yet that's unacceptable.
From the mindset to the diet to the training to getting into the actual ring. In this podcast, we cover so much interesting stuff about the world of boxing. Before we dive into this podcast with Nathaniel though, if you could do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button, 5-star button, whatever it is, wherever you are, it really helps. The more likes and follows, shares, whatever it is we get, the more incredible guests like Nathaniel that we can get on the show. Thank you guys very much. My name is Harrison Brown. This is the Into the Mind podcast, and let's welcome Nathaniel Collins. It's weird, but when you talk to sports people, their life has been like the sport, right? So they don't really like look outward in terms. They don't care about their image or anything like that because all they care about is the sport. You can see that across the board, especially when the likes of like Tyson Fury doesn't give a fuck. He just like is himself.
Yeah.
So how have you found the kind of transition into becoming like more in the public eye?
Fine, I don't think anything's changed very much for me anyway, because in terms of speaking anyway, like when I was growing up, my mum was very much into like, you need to stick in at school, you need to go to uni, you need to do this, you need to do that. So I was always right into English, right into reading, right into history and stuff. Like I was always
A good boy.
a good boy, yeah. I was. Without sounding like a pure gimp. But then I wasn't really into sport even that much. I was into just daft things, climbing trees and running about, and I wasn't even really into football. So, like, I didn't mind school. I never took too well to it. I was like always a wee bit like ADHD way. Like, I'm not saying I've got that, but I was always like, oh, I want to just buzz about and do this and do that.
Have you been tested or not?
Nah. Don't want to know. It's like, if you don't know, it doesn't happen. So I like, my speaking was always well in terms of, so as soon as I got onto camera through boxing, like I could always speak and articulate what I was trying to say, and it's always transitioned into podcasts and whatever I've done with other people. So I never ever thought, oh no, I need to talk on the camera, or get nervous, or I always kind of knew what I was going to say, or it came naturally. So in terms of being a bit more in the public eye, I don't think I've been enough in the public eye still, even like, even though I'm getting more popular.
Yeah, you can see it, like you're 17 and 0 now, so you can see it even online. When I was doing some research, I only did like a little bit because I don't like to do too much, because then I end up asking questions that nobody has a clue why I'm asking them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as I was looking you up, there's like, people are excited for your next fight. Like they're because you're 17 and 0. Inevitably, when you win so many, people want to see what's going to happen next, whether you're going to lose, whether you're going to win. Do you get nervous about anything? Like, obviously the public eye stuff you're not as fussed about, but I'm guessing, like, is there anything that makes you nervous?
Not necessarily. I think like now I'm world ranked number 1. The next fight's a world title eliminator. Like, I'm getting to that stage where, wow, this is like the big time.
Aye.
Whereas before I was like, well, if I don't make it, I'll just live my life normally. And like, you'll talk to a lot of boxers and they'll probably be like, oh, all I've got is boxing, or I don't know anything else other than boxing. I don't know anything else other than boxing. I've boxed my whole life, but I'm very, very resourceful and handy. So I think like, if boxing was to finish, I'd go and be good at something else. Or I'd be good at business, or I'd be good at whatever I turned my hand at, because I've just got that mindset.
So you'd go into another trade if it wasn't boxing?
Yeah, 100%. Or even like, let's say my gym just now, I don't give that my full attention. If I was to give that my full attention, I would be pretty sure I'd get it jumping.
Yeah.
I love other sports. I love like ultra running. I like high rocks. So I would just go and do something like that and be good at it and focus my time into that. So then everyone else is like, oh, I've not got anything else going on. I need to make it in boxing. That was how I was like my whole life until now. But then now I'm about to hit the big time, and I'm like, okay, I actually do need to actually kind of be a bit nervous here.
Yeah.
Because
so do you like? Do you? Where does the confidence come from?
I don't know, just
because even the way you were talking there, you were like, if I'm not good at this, I'll do high rocks and I'll be good at that, or I'll like do the gym. Like, where did? Because that is a confidence that I see in professional athletes. That's almost like you kind of need to have that in order to get to the big time, because you need to believe in yourself, right?
Yeah.
So like, where do you think the belief came from? Where do you think the
just
confidence
from
came
hard work? Like I just think like the people who aren't confident aren't putting the work in behind the scenes that they should be working in. I don't think there's anybody genuinely that's working as hard as me, or even as close to as hard as me in my sport, because I'm not just doing my sport. I'm doing my sport, then I'm running, then I'm cycling, then I'm doing functional training, and I'm doing my strength training, and I'm like, nobody's doing that. And then the messages I get is like, oh, you're crazy for doing this. I don't think I'm crazy for doing this. This is normal to me. So that's why I have confidence in the result I'm going to produce, is because I'm putting so much work in. So if it wasn't with boxing, it would be with business. If I had to go and sit behind a computer for hours and study something and become good at that, I would do it, because that's the mindset I've got.
It's like work ethic.
100%. And like, it's funny. So my coach just now, he's probably drilled that into me a lot since, because I've been with him since I was 15. So, and he's like hard, old school, like hard mindset, like just get through it. You're no hurt, you're not sore, you're not this, you're not that. And then that's been 10 years or 12 years where we've been together, and I've listened to that every day for 12 years. So when I do get a wee bit sore, or when I do get a wee bit, I'm like, nah, I'm not sore. Or if I do, I've never, like, touch wood, had an injury.
Yeah.
I probably have been injured, but then I've just thought, like, get on with it.
So you just work through it. You've not let it slow you down.
So then I think if I was to transition that mindset into something else, it would be fine. One thing I know for sure is I couldn't do something normal. Like, I've worked normal jobs, and my work ethic that I can apply to things that I like to do or want to do is there. As soon as I'm doing something that I hate or I'm not interested in, there's no work ethic. I could not be further away from trying to be good at it. Yeah,
it's quite an like ADHD mentality though, because they get like and this is through someone that has ADHD, so I'm allowed to talk about it. but essentially they have like a, if they don't care about something, they're never going to focus on it. Whereas like someone that has a neurotypical brain can kind of focus on stuff even if they don't care about it, because they know it's going to get them to the end goal. Like ADHD people just can't do that. Whereas when they're really interested in something, they like hyper focus to the max, and their work ethic will be way beyond anyone that would be normally into that project. So do you think you have a little bit of that?
Yeah, like
autism?
probably possess attributes that. Yeah, but I feel like, again, this is like a old school type thing. Like, I've been doing this for years, or I may have had these traits for years. We're now getting into this generation where everything's now, okay, you've got ADHD, or you've got autism, or you've got something, or which was never about when I was younger. And it's just the kind of traits I don't think there's anything wrong with.
No.
But also you can then get tarred with a brush of, okay, you're lazy for... But no, it's not that I'm lazy. It's not that I'm this. I've got no interest in doing that thing. I've got no interest in doing that thing. So why am I going to? I'm not going to waste time applying myself to something I don't like.
Yeah.
Which is simple.
Did you do boxing at school? Like, when did you start the boxing career?
I think I started at like 15. I had my first fight, so I might have started about 14, 15. And I just trained for a while and got into it. And then I had my first fight. I think I got battered, to be honest. I was really into it, and I was like, I need to get good at this. Like, I want to get good at this.
Why is it that after you got battered the first time, you wanted to keep doing it?
I don't know. I just like
enjoyed being battered.
I just had a. I've always had like an adrenaline thing. Like, even going back to when we were saying there, like, I wasn't interested in sports and stuff, but see, like, that's gonna sound weird, but see trees. See, like, the tallest possible tree you could climb.
Yes.
I used to get, like, grounded off my mum because I would climb trees that, see, if I fell from it, I would die easily. Like, legit, was climbing skyscrapers, and she's like, what are you doing? Like, you're off your nut.
Yeah.
Get grounded, you're not going back out there. Whatever. And then as I got older, I started getting into, like, cliff jumping, into water, obviously.
That scares the shit out of me.
And then, I love it.
Yeah.
And then, like rock climbing, anything to do with a bit of adrenaline and skiing and whatever. So I've always had that about me, but when I got into boxing, it was like way more, like way enhanced.
Yeah. Do you think it's the point where you like when you walk into the fight, right? So you've got the crowd there. Is the maximum adrenaline rush when you kind of walk into that fight? Would you say, or is it if you win? Like when is the high of that for you?
I have no idea, because I feel like everything, like initially you're going to walk out and you're like, what's going to happen here? But then you're like, right, I've prepared for this. And then I feel like the first thought for me is always like, what's this first punch going to feel like? Because then I'm going to know, can this guy hurt me or can he not hurt me?
Yeah.
It's not happened yet, so.
Well, we were talking about with the fight with Lee.
Yep.
How did you think that went from your perspective? Like, did you think, although you won, right? And to me, watching that fight as a fan, it seemed like he kind of gassed himself a little bit. He started to like false pieces towards the ends, and that's when all of a sudden you hit him with that body shot. He was down. Then you hit him with another hook. He was down again, and then he was out after that. Is there anything that you could have done better in that fight, or do you think that was executed perfectly?
I think I'm a big harsh critic of myself, so I think I could always do something better. But like, I knew Lee. I've known Lee for years. I've sparred hundreds of rounds with him, so I know his styles, like outwork you, smother you, outstrength you. So when he was coming close with me, it was like, okay, let him do his thing, because nothing's really, I was just like catching things and not like wrestling him and not gassing myself out. And then he was trying to, I don't know, outwork.
It was almost like a manipulation. Like he was trying to get like, you to work.
That was it. It was trying to like bully me into fighting his fight. Yeah. And it never really worked, because I was just relaxed, and like in the times it was like about being cool and being composed. And then as soon as we split up and then he tried to get close again, it was like, right, okay. After 2 rounds, I was like, okay, he's going to keep doing this. And it was just a case of catching him as he comes in. And then that happened. And then, you know, it was easy to kind of finish.
And you think it was kind of predictable, like toward from the second round on, you were like, right,
yeah,
I know his tactic. I know exactly what he's going to try here. And I know how to defend myself from it.
Yeah. And that was it. And I just think he was struggling to work out what I was doing, rather than I was just waiting to see and waiting to build in, and I was like, preserve your energy, because this is going to get harder and harder and harder. And then once it kind of switched that, like, this is all he's got here, because he can't work out what I'm doing, that was it.
And how do you analyze that within is that something you analyzed prior and you were like, right, I know what he's going to try with me? Or from a boxing standpoint, would you edit your style, so to speak, for every fight you have? Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, I think like I'm quite adaptable in a fight, so
yeah,
if I need to fight somebody and be there and outwork them and outstrength them, I will. If I can just outbox them and play the game and win easily, I will. And I've shown it in loads of different fights where, okay, I've outboxed somebody for 12 rounds and they can barely lay a glove on me. Or a couple of fights ago, I got my nose broke like in the 3rd round or something, and it had to be like a bit of an all-out war, because I was struggling to breathe and I was struggling to do what I would usually do. So there's this. I think this is what's got me so far, is the fact that I'm adaptable in a fight. I don't need to like plan out what's happening before it. And I don't really watch people before I fight them, because then, which sounds stupid, because you always think you know what they're going to do, but if you're watching somebody and watching for something that they always do, you're going to start thinking, right, they're going to do that, and you're waiting for that all the time. And that puts you in a bit of a situation where, okay, I'm stuck if they don't do that, or I'm only waiting for that. You need to be well-rounded in every way, I think. So, like my coach Joe, he'll watch people, he'll notice things, he'll say, right, we'll work on this shot, we'll work on that shot, but it's not only just about these shots. That's
interesting, because like when you look at, for example, rugby, a lot of the rugby boys have been on, and they'll say that they'll analyze. Like they'll watch hours and hours and hours worth of, Scotland versus England, whatever it might be, just to see what traits the team has, who's, weaker at passing, who's weaker at defending, whatever it might be. But you just wouldn't watch that because everything's adaptable, I suppose.
Yep.
So like that boxer might just totally change their style, and then all of a sudden you've trained for something that doesn't come to fruition.
Yeah, but so it's a weird one. Like, let's say I would maybe watch a clip of somebody or 30 seconds or a minute. I'm not going to go and watch hours and hours of fights and tapes. And I know there is people that do that, and I know there is coaches and boxers that do that, and I don't necessarily think somebody will ever change their style as a whole. But let's say you're watching something and you say, okay, they always throw this right uppercut, they always throw this right hook, they always throw this straight shot. And then you go in and you're like, okay, I'm waiting for that. That might take a couple of rounds to come. That might take 6 rounds to come. It might take 8 rounds to come.
You've wasted that time almost.
Waiting on this person to do that thing that you're trying to time. Whereas if I go in, focus on what I'm doing, if that comes, it comes, and I can react to that at the time. So, yep, I know that's there and I'm aware of it, but that's not my whole thing to focus on. Just focus on what you're doing.
That's interesting. And how did it come about that you broke your nose? Did someone just land a fucking clanger on you?
It was an elbow. It was an illegal elbow that ended up not getting seen. It was like on the blind side of the ref. So I don't know if you ever had clips in, but I'll send you send you the clip so people can see. But
is it bad? Was it a bad break?
Yeah. So basically, what had happened was I was basically boxing the head off this guy. I stepped in and he like threw a hook, but
it missed it, and then
he basically missed it, as in missed it on purpose, and he's like basically folded down, and as I've come in, he's hit my nose with the elbow and it snapped. But like that way that you know instantly my nose is snapped.
Yeah.
In half here. My mum, my missus, my dad, and my wee brother were sitting in the front row, basically right at the ring. And me and the guy have came into a clinch, and I looked at them, and everybody's face was just chalk white.
Oh my god!
And I just looked down at them, and everybody was pasty, and I was like, "Oh no, this isn't good." I goes back to the corner, and Joe's like, "Right, so your nose is snapped." I says, "I think my nose is broken." He says, "No, your nose is snapped." He put a towel over my nose and tried to snap it back into place, and that was agony. And then after that, it was just.
Did he get it back in?
All downhill for there. No.
Did he not?
No. Or he might have got it back in, but as soon as I went out and get punched again, we were only in the third round, so that was just right away. It was
straight back out.
Aye.
Yeah, because I've broken my nose before, and anything after that, it's just moving.
Aye.
So oh my god, so you had
then I had 9 rounds after it, just getting punched, and it was like a war as well. So it was like.
And how did the fight? Well, I'm guessing you won the fight yourself.
I won the fight. So it was like I outboxed him easily the first 3 rounds. Got my nose broke. Outboxed him again for like 2 or 3 rounds, but my breathing was starting to trouble me.
So you get more tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I landed a good shot in the 7th, and I thought I need to get this guy out here this round, or I'm not going to.
Trouble.
Aye.
Yeah.
And then that was my problem. I should have just kept boxing normal, but see, when I tried to take him out, I couldn't get my breath back.
Oh
so
my
rounds
God.
8 and 9, I was like gassed.
Yeah.
And then thankfully 10, 11, 12, I'd managed to get my breath back and just
Okay.
went back to boxing, but it was like ended up a pure bloodbath from rounds like 9, 10, 11 or 8, 9, 10 or whatever it was.
It's just pure grit and determination.
Aye. So then it was like get through this, and I got a really nice white kit for that one. So I had a full white kit with white fur and all that, and it was pure red all over me, nose snapped and everything. So it was.
Oh my god, is that the worst injury you've had?
In a fight, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the worst. I can't like it's just so shit that it's so like visible. Like, see if you break a hand or something, everyone's like, oh, well, it looks pretty normal. Where if you break your nose, it's like, ooh,
definitely. And then that's the nature of the sport. I'm getting punched in the face, so that guy's probably thinking, brilliant.
Yeah,
I'm just going to keep punching him in his nose.
So he would capitalize on it, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So he just ran at me basically for the next.
Jesus Christ.
Aye.
So would you do the same? Would you like see if you injured someone? If you like, let's say you punched someone in the face and you broke their nose or cracked their wherever it is you did, would you identify that and then be like, he's the guy?
You need to.
Yeah. That's brutal, isn't it?
Aye, it's kill or be killed here. And like, even though I says that in my press conference a couple of weeks ago or whatever, like, I'm a nice enough guy, but when it comes to boxing, like, if it's not you, it's them. Or if it's not them, it's you. So they're thinking that way. You need to think that way, and that's just how it is.
It's funny because when it gets to the last, like, especially in the Dubois fight with Us, did you see that fight?
Yeah.
Did you go to it?
I never went to it. I was just.
You were watching
it.
So, like, I think that when you get guys like Dubois, whoever the big heavyweights are, you can really see who's got the mindset in the last like 3 rounds.
Aye.
Because they'll put in the extra, even though they're both gassed, because everyone's at that point like totally gone. They always pull out something else. Like they always seem to like have it in them to keep going.
Aye.
And you can always see the guys that are like all chat and no fucking action.
Yeah.
Because they're just dead. They're like, I don't have this in me. I don't care.
Aye.
Whereas the people that really care, normally the people that are quiet, and then they just bring it out in the last 3 rounds.
Aye, definitely. You need to have something extra in you, like a wee bit tapped to push through that. And then if you've got the capabilities to do that, it breaks your opponent's heart, because this guy's broke my nose, then he's ran at me for a couple of rounds, and I'm still there.
Yeah.
And like, I'm trying to swing him about, and I'm trying to go for him. So he's like,
It breaks his spirit.
"Mate, this guy's injured and he's still coming at me." So it was like just one of the ones where you need to just have it.
Yeah.
You either have it or you don't. So
What's going on in your head at that point? Because like where is that? Is it anger that's coming out, or is it stubbornness? Like what is coming out? Because people do it. Some people say they do it for family. Some people they say they do it because they're really fucking stubborn. What are you doing it for?
what was I doing it for in that fight, or what am I doing it for in general?
In general, like when you're in those last 3 rounds, right? You're gassed. You've fucking broken your nose. You're covered in sweat and blood. Why are you there?
Money.
That's right. That's a pretty good answer. Chisholm Hunter are the sponsors of the Into the Mind podcast, and without Chisholm Hunter, I would not be sitting here today. Chisholm Hunter are a family-run luxury retailer that have been going for over 165 years. Yes, you heard me, 165 years, which is absolutely insane. They specialize in luxury watches, and they're world-renowned for their luxury diamonds. If you are looking for a watch for yourself, like a Amiga, like I have on at the moment, or a Blancpain, Tudor, Vacheron Constantin, whatever it might be, the odds are that Chisholm Hunter are authorized retailers for those watches. And in the world we're living in today, unfortunately, the watch world, we are living in a time where there's so many fakes kicking around. So it's really important to trust your authorized retailer. And who better to trust than Chisholm Hunter with 165 years, over 165 years in the industry. If you're looking for that watch, then definitely Chisholm Hunter is the place. Or if you're looking for a luxury diamond, then I would definitely head to Chisholm Hunter. I know when my missus wants anything, that's definitely where I would go. When you're on the Chisholm Hunter website, which is chisholmhunter.co.uk, that's chisholmhunter.co.uk, make sure you use the discount code CHSUB, that is CHSUB, for an exclusive 10% off selected items. That is CHSUB on the chisholmhunter.co.uk website. That's the chisholmhunter.co.uk website. Thank you guys so much for supporting the podcast. And without further ado, let's get back to this episode with Nathaniel.
You know what? I learned pretty fast in boxing. As soon as I started and turned professional, like, nobody cares about you. Minus your coach and your team and the people you box with every day, nobody cares about you. Whether that's, fans, sponsors, whatever, like, people like you when you're winning and people love you when you're winning. So you need to keep winning for the stuff to come. And that's not me being like, oh, poor me or poor, like, this applies to everybody who's in it, and that might upset a few people watching or whatever, but that's the truth of the matter is, if you're not doing well, nobody's going to support you. If you're not a good fighter and you continue winning, you're not going to have any fans. If you might have people that have always been around you or always knew you or knew your mum or knew your dad, and they might still keep supporting you and whatever, but the be-all and end-all is, if you're not going to get up there, nobody cares about you, and that's the harsh reality of it. And if nobody cares about you, you're not going to make any money. And if you're not making any money, why are you doing it? Because there's easier things to do for money. So it's like, that's the harsh reality of it. That's how I think about it every time. If I don't win this fight, I'm not getting paid next fight. If I don't get paid next fight, I'm continuing getting paid, I'm not doing it, because it's too hard. It's just too hard. So why would I?
Yeah. And does that, like, how does the pay work in terms of, this is always like perplexed me. So do you get a salary?
You get like an agreed purse.
Right.
Well, at my level, you get an agreed purse. So let's say there's a general purse. I'm getting let's say 60% of it, and that guy's getting 40% of it if I'm the A side.
Right.
Or he might have an agreed money and I've got an agreed money. No matter what happens, win or lose, you get that money for that fight.
Right. Yeah. Makes sense.
You might be on a contract where the terms of the contract is, okay, this next fight's this amount of money, but if you lose that fight, obviously you get paid that money, but next fight you're back to your basic rate.
Right. So if you lose, you almost go down the pecking order again.
So let's say, for example, this isn't the correct numbers, but let's say you're getting paid 20 grand. You get your 20 grand. Next fight you get paid 30 grand. But if you lose that fight, okay, you'll get your 30 grand for that fight, but then next fight, one, you could get dropped altogether for the promotion and you're back to square one, nobody backing you, or two, you're basically an opponent for the next guy who they've got coming up, and then you get paid 5 grand instead of your 20 grand. So then you're going, right, I'm taking a 15 grand decrease. What am I doing it for?
Okay, that kind of makes sense. It's pretty brutal.
It is, and that's why you need to keep winning. It's like, and that is how serious it is. It's kill or be killed. Like, if you're not the guy winning, then you're out.
So if you're not the guy winning, then you're out. But like, it's pretty brutal that you could drop from like 20 grand to 5 overnight. You can see that's probably why people have such like mental health issues.
Yep.
When they lose.
Yep.
Like, you saw the way that Joshua reacted when he lost to, who's the Mexican?
Andy Ruiz.
Or Usyk the second time.
Yep.
Is it partially because they're losing everything? It's not just like they're losing a fight. They're losing the reputation. They're also, because they've built that up over years and years and years. By the way, he's an incredible fighter. No disrespect to him. But he's also losing a big chunk of pay, probably.
I think at Joshua's level, maybe it doesn't matter. I think at Joshua's level, it's about something else, because they're in the 10s or 20s of millions.
Aye, it's insane.
Not like, they're not in the stage of like, for me, I'm like, I've not got any money. I've never had any money. I'm trying to get out of the mud type thing. Like, I need to win to feed my family. Whereas he's already got 10s of millions or 20s of millions in the bank. So it's about something different for them at that point. Then he's got sponsorship with, let's say, Under Armour or
Adidas.
Exactly.
Nike,
so
I think,
all these big endorsements and sponsorships. So for him, he's always going to have that. It doesn't really matter. So I don't know what it's about for them, because, and that's why I think they say when you do get there, it's hard to stay there, because if my whole ambition for my whole life's get out, get your family secure, financially secure, your future, your kids' future, then when you get to that stage, then what's the motivation? Obviously, there's always going to be money on the table, so that never ends, but like, then you're like, right, I've kind of achieved what I want to achieve here.
I've done it already.
Yeah, like, I could go and walk away and spend the rest of the next 30 years with my family and not have to worry about paying for things. Like, then you go, right, do I want to get up at 4 in the morning? Do I want to get up at 5 in the morning? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? For me, I would, because eventually I'd want to take care of my immediate family, my mum and dad, my wee brother and sister, like, my coach. Like, hopefully I could give out and give back to everybody.
That supported you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then when all that is said and done and achieved and you've reached a world title, then you're like, okay, do I want to keep doing this or not? Or
Yeah. Well, I think it's difficult, because I think it becomes down to legacy. Like, at that point, and that's why a lot of the, whether it's MMA fighters or whoever it might be, or boxers, whatever it is, a lot of them are religious, because it's like they're fighting for something bigger than them. Because they've got all the money. They've got like the fame, they've got the money. Anthony Joshua's a good looking bastard as well. It probably helps. But like, I think a lot of them, that's why they fall into religion. Because all of a sudden then it becomes, I'm doing something bigger than me here. And I'm like a small part in a big, like, it's almost like religion goes against getting a big ego. Like, you can't really have a big ego but also be religious.
Yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of these guys fall into religion after a while. Like, that's what Tyson Fury did, right?
Yeah.
He got to the top, fell off the bandwagon, got into drugs, depression, alcohol, whatever it might be. Then all of a sudden he found religion and he got back into it, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah. I don't know. I've got controversial opinions on religion, and I do think there's a lot of people that use religion as a
tool, almost.
to gain support, or to... There's people I know that could be posting or saying, you know, "Oh, glory to God," or "I'm doing this for God," or "I'm doing this for..." whatever the religion is, or... And then I know them personally, and the stuff they're doing is not religious, not holy, not... You know what I mean? So you're like, are you really about what you're saying you're about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think, like, integrity is, like... I don't personally believe, like, in religion, or... I believe there's something maybe higher, or there's something out there, or, like, destiny, or something, like...
There's a path.
Like, there's feelings of, like, this was where you were meant to go, and this is why you were meant to be there, and a lot of stuff's happened to me, and that's led me to here. Is that God? I don't know. Is that just preempted, and that's how your life was meant to work out? I don't know. But, like, I wouldn't go and be like, okay, all this and all that, and that's just my opinion personally.
That's social media, though. Like, I think that because you will get people that are genuinely, you know, religious, whatever the religion might be, right? But social media is this toxic place where people just, like, they want to put up what they want people to think they are, instead of what they really are. It's like a lot of that. That's why I stopped using Instagram a lot of time. I would, like, kind of, you know, I post every now and again because I'm a photographer, but, like, apart from that, I don't care, because you look at it and you think, fucking hell, everyone's having, like, such a good life. Like, everyone's got, like, the beach bodies, they're tanned, they're like, but actually it's all fake. It's all bullshit.
Definitely. And there's a lot of things that you see that's like, oh, this person's a perfect family, or this is this, or this is that. And then actually you know them personally, and it's honestly a load of nonsense. And I would say that, you know, openly about everybody. And I say it to my wee brother and my wee sister all the time. It's like, don't believe anything you see.
Oh, nothing.
Don't believe anything. Don't believe the news you see on social media. Don't believe the pictures you see on social media. It's like, you don't know what somebody's done to get what they've got there.
To their eye.
You don't know. There could be people posting a Rolex. It could be a faker.
Yeah.
They could have had to do something drastic to get that. They could... No, I went a week without eating, or whatever. There's no context behind stuff you're seeing on social media these days. So it's like, just be happy with what you've got. Like,
but it's hard because, like, inevitably, social media leads to comparison, right?
Yeah.
Because look at what this guy has comparatively to, like, look at what I have, and we're naturally wired to compare to others. So because we're looking at others, fuck, they have that hat. That's quite cool. I want that hat. That's why influencers are so, like, brilliant, because it works. I don't know. I'm with you. I think social media is it's toxic, and people need to be really careful, especially you've got a daughter, right? It will be quite... What are your thoughts on when she gets to the age, I'm going to guess, like 8, 9 is when she's going to get a phone?
I don't know what age to get a phone at.
8, 9, but that's scary. Like, I didn't have a phone till I was 15.
Yeah.
Whereas now you look at these babies and they have iPads.
Yeah.
How the fuck do they know how to work that and not speak?
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? I'm blessed. Like, my partner was a primary teacher, and she spent every day with my daughter for, you know, the first 2 years of her life, and she speaks incredible. And even, like, when we go places and we meet other people with kids that age, and like you're saying, they're on the iPads, or they're on and they actually can't speak, or they actually can say a couple of words. And, like, me and my missus have got very, like, kind of, like, old school values of, no, it's just go out and play, or like, don't sit in front of a screen, or don't do this or that. Well, I'm a hypocrite saying that because I play COD all the time, but I'm saying that's a camp thing. But so it's difficult. Like, I don't think we live it, and my mum and dad went like that, and her mum and dad went like that. So, like, my wee brother and sister aren't all over social media or anything either, and they've got, like, bans on their apps, and, you know, so it's a hard one to judge, isn't it? Because, like, everything's changing all the time,
and it's a very new thing. Like, if you look at social media in terms of, like, how long people have been around, it's like, what, like 15 years, 10, it's tiny, and, like, nobody actually knows the effect it's having on your brain. Actually, that's a lie. If you sit on TikTok for 2 hours, you can feel the effect it's had on your brain, because you feel like I don't want to swear, like, but you feel like an absolute twat after. You're like, what have I just watched for, like, 2 hours? And you actually feel like you've just been deleting memories in your brain for the last 2 hours.
Definitely.
And you can imagine a kid on that. Like, no wonder we're bringing up an ADHD mentality, because
definitely.
it's instant gratification. Like it's instant, and a lot of the time it's just brain rot. It's just like scroll until you like go haha, and then keep scrolling. And like that's literally it. It's terrible.
I was watching something the other day on TikTok, and it was somebody was saying like, "Oh my," and it was this. It was like my ADHD diaries or day 4 of dealing with ADHD, and I'm like, they were talking about something that, okay, does anybody else feel this? And then they explain something that probably everybody feels, right? And I'm like, you're basically promoting to everyone that's watching this video, okay, they could have ADHD. And then all these people are thinking, I've got ADHD, I'm going to go get tested. And then you see on the thing, everybody complaining about the strain that's on the NHS or the strain that's on this and that. And you're like, well, you're all sitting on TikTok self-diagnosing yourself with ADHD. So it's like... it's mental. There's just so much going on these days, and like, I'm sure people would be watching this when it comes out or listening to it and going, "Oh, these guys are really insensitive," or "These guys are whatever," or "I do have that," or "I do have that," and you're like, "Well, so does everybody. Everybody's got problems. Like, get on with it."
I think it is a lot of. I mean, you're 29. You said yesterday, so yeah, we're pretty much the same age, like a year difference essentially. But like we just missed the snowflake generation.
Yeah.
We just missed it.
Yeah.
By like 3 years. Like I think we just missed it. But everyone is really sensitive. I had a big brother who used to bully shit out of me. But it was great because like I don't really care. Like you become kind of like tolerant to it. It becomes the norm. Like if someone says you have shit hair, you're like, oh well, I don't really care. Like but people nowadays are so sensitive. They take everything so to heart. Did you see that the American Eagle campaign, a clothing brand with Sydney Sweeney? Did you see this?
No.
There was is American Eagle the brand? I'm actually just going to look it up to fact check myself, but it's really funny, mate. I'll show you it. She essentially did a campaign where she's promoting jeans, as in like jeans on your legs. So it zooms in Sydney Sweeney's knockers, and she goes, "I've got great jeans," and it's like it's funny, right? Yeah. People started saying it's Nazi propaganda because she's saying she's got great genes and she's got blue eyes and blonde hair.
It's wild.
What the fuck, man?
It's wild. Like, it's wild.
Let me show you this. This is insane, Sid.
You know what? You see stuff like that all the time, and it's like people just take what they want to take from anything and run with it. And you're like, that's not what that person's saying at all.
No.
That's not what I'm saying at all.
You've made it up. Yeah, you've made it up.
But and then you start having to question yourself, like, I do it in the gym all the time, like when I'm coaching people, when I swear at them and I shout at them or whatever. And
play that. How funny! It's such a good ad.
I'm not here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans.
Just zooming in on tits. Like,
Jeans I've ever worn. Or they make your butt look amazing.
it's just her looking hot. It's a good advert though. It's a good play on words.
I'm glad. Glad you showed me.
But people are essentially making out that it's like Nazi propaganda. Yep. And you're like, how did you jump to the conclusion? How did you jump to that?
Yeah.
What? Like...
It's mental. It's mental. See some of the stuff you see on Twitter now and like whatever, like, you know, see when you actually sit down, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist in the slightest.
I am.
But like... you just think somebody somewhere up above's pumping this all out to just get all... us minions, like
excited,
riled up. So I'm like, it's crazy.
Yeah. What did you think of the? We'll get back to boxing in a second because I know we've gone so off piste. What did you think of the ban that the UK brought into adult websites for children?
It's the same thing we're just talking about there with this generation. As you're like, these kids are on iPads from the moment they wake up.
Aye.
And they know what they're doing. Like,
they
smart. 100% can get onto whatever they want to get onto, or get whatever they want to get somewhere. So it's like, is that really about what it's about, or is it something else? Like, you don't really know.
I think it's... when it comes to... All right, the bad word here is porn, so I'm just going to say it. So when it comes to that, I kind of get it, right? I kind of have a vague understanding that they're wanting kids not to see girls or guys or whatever it might be. It kind of makes sense. But where I draw the line is they've started to block independent news agencies from reporting the news because of adult deemed content. Mm-hmm. The UK has jurisdiction over what they deem relevant and not relevant, or misinformation.
Yeah.
So in theory, they then have control over the news outlets.
Yeah.
That's the conspiracy theorist behind it. And I kind of believe it. Like
Definitely, and it's like anything just now. Really, there's a lot of people that will believe anything you say to them, and this is like, I'm going to go back to the COVID thing where
oh, that was insane.
whatever they told you were doing, like honestly, the amount of hate mail or the amount of like people saying I'm killing their grands because I was going cliff diving or walking up a hill during COVID, and I'm like, you don't know anything. And like even my missus was pregnant during COVID, and people were trying to get her to get the jab, and you're like, the jab's not been out for even 9 months.
We don't know.
You don't know what what could happen to my kid when it's born. So I'm like, you're crazy. But it was like, this is 100%. They wouldn't lie to you. They wouldn't blah blah blah. And then fast forward now, and it's all a load of shit. So it's like, and people are dying because of the jab, or people are having serious like
it's strokes. It's
so
causing strokes. It's super interesting because I remember when this first came out, the COVID jags, and I wouldn't say I'm like against it. I believe in injections. Like I believe that it's great to not get Hep B or like, do you know what I mean? Not get like, get tablets for malaria or get a yellow fever jag. I believe in vaccinations. What I don't believe in is the pace that they did it. And what I don't believe in is the fact that there was like the restrictions or control that they had where they were like, you can't leave your house unless you have a jag. And I was like, but what happens if it's against, so firstly, we talked about religion. What happens if it's against your religion? What happens if you have an allergic reaction to the jag and it kills you? What happens if it causes, which it did, by the way, causes a stroke and then makes you worse off? Are you going to pay for the fact that I can't support my family anymore? Like all of this shit that came out after the fact. And then, because I was the same as you, I had to get the vaccine because my job was to travel at that point, right? Because I needed to do photography. So I got a dose of the vaccine and I said openly, I'm like, I'm not getting a second. I did this to travel, but I'm not pumping shit into my body that I don't know what it is. And also, I've had COVID twice. So why would I need the vaccine if my body's built natural immunity? Like, it doesn't make sense. And I don't think the government understood it either, because you had people like fucking Hancock. Oh my God.
It was wild. It was wild at the time, and like my mum's mega like, she's mega into, don't listen to the man. They're controlling the media. They're controlling
do your research.
Everything think for yourself. So I'm not on that level. I don't really care. I was just like, I'm not putting something into my body I don't know about. I never got any vaccines. And then also, I'm not staying inside. You're not telling me to stay inside because that's not my life. That's not what I do. Like, so I went and done everything. Actually, apologies if this is controversial again, but COVID was one of the best times of my life because I was furloughed from a job that I hated. I was jumping about training, and I was jumping about doing like
Monroe's
activities with my pals, and it was like actually the best time of my life, and I was stress free. And then on the flip side, people are messaging me like, oh, you and your friend meeting up is going to kill my gran. And I'm like, well, I'm nowhere near you or your gran. I'm nowhere near anybody. I'm in the middle of a mountain. So if you want me to come lick your door handle, then we can talk. But so
I do get it. Like I understand why people were concerned, especially when it came to the elderly. But my gran died during COVID, right? They put it down to COVID. My gran was not well. And I know that from a personal point of view. Like, trust me, I'd be the first to say if I felt that it killed my gran. But it didn't. My gran had dementia. She was old, and like, although COVID might have been a factor in it, like so would the common cold. So like, I kind of understand. But what I didn't get, and this is the last point I'll do before we get back to boxing, but what I didn't get was the cloth over the face. See if you have an open wound, would you put a dirty piece of cloth that you've probably worn 3 days in a row over your wound? No. And then they did studies on the particles of so like a guy was vaping through the mask and all the particles were coming out, and he said the particles in a vape are like 20 times bigger than the particles of COVID, and they're all coming out. So it's just why
nonsense.
Yes, nonsense.
They were just making stuff up, I think, at the time, but it was mental.
It was nonsense. Did your training like change during? You said you enjoyed your training during COVID. Did it change in any way? Were you doing loads more activities?
Not necessarily.
Or more time.
I just had more time. I was just training more. Like, I built a wee like pull-up bar dip station in my back garden. I found like a big tractor tire one day and got it up to my house. I like basically made myself an outdoor gym in my back garden. Then I started doing boot camps and stuff throughout COVID, and it was funny because it was like when you were only allowed to meet like 4 people together,
like a pod,
or like a 6 people thing, and I was like in the middle of a park at night with like 60 people all running about, and I was like, well, obviously people don't care that much about it because
they're all training.
Yeah, so it was like crazy, and then it was like whatever, nobody really bothered. And one time I got moved by the police, and I was like, oh, we're doing a whatever charity
training
thing or whatever, and they were like, oh, we can't do that, and I was like, okay, cool, bye, and then moved to another park. It was like, whatever, who cares? And nobody was caring.
Does your training change? Like, how does your training change when you have a fight versus when you don't?
It just gets a bit more specific in terms of like boxing or weights, or because, you know, out with a fight, I still train, I still run. You know, my gym's full of people who are like up for it, to be honest. So out with like the wee boxing camp we've got, which is, you know, 4 or 5 pros, and Joe, like we all do our stuff all the time anyway. But then on the flip side of it, the part that I run with my brother-in-law is like, I've got marathon runners, ultra runners.
Yeah.
I've got people who started off as not interested in sport or running at all, who are now all like flying and loving it and doing all these events. So it's like at any given moment, all the time throughout the year, I can put into this chat, right, who's up for a run, or who's up for the track, or who's up for any sort of activity, and if somebody is up for it, or multiple people are up for it. So it's like,
that's class.
Yeah, so it's like the community that we've got is amazing, but it's like it goes from professional athletes, like we've got guys that have got like 2:30 marathons, we've got people that have ran 100 miles or like even more, and then all the way down to a guy that's just a normal guy for an office who's then got into the gym, loved it, loved what we do, and then now he's doing like 7-8 sessions a week as part of the group. So it goes from like high level to what you would consider a low level, but then this low level person's then thought, well, all these people are doing that, why can't I do that? And it's like fun through.
And you're also building a community. What's the gym called, by the way, just for everyone that's listening?
Team Nightmare.
Team Nightmare. Oh, it's on the hat.
Team Nightmare, Glasgow.
Team Nightmare. So, but a lot of people, I feel, especially in today's day and age, like we talked about phones there, they lack purpose, right?
Yeah.
They're in a job that they might not really like, but they've got to pay for the family, and I totally understand that. Like, it's difficult, 100%. But they lack purpose, and they need to find their purpose outside the job that they might not like. And what you're doing essentially is bringing a community together and giving them purpose.
Yeah.
Like, and that's pretty incredible.
It's amazing, and it's like, probably, so when I first started the gym and everyone used to, and it's one of the ones where you'll get slagged for it off everybody else, but everybody used to get their top off and whatever, and there was good few solid people there, and it's intimidating. It's flipped a bit to like, now everybody's up for it. Like, I've got mums and guys not in that great shape or whatever, and it's like, come and do what you can do and then push yourself beyond the kind of limits that
you think you have.
And then people are like, well, I can actually do this. Or like 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago, I think 11 of the team ran a 50k ultra marathon up at the Whiteley Wind Farm. It was called Run the Blades. So 11 of them ran that. 2 of the people who were there when they first came, or even like more than that, had never ran ever when they first came. Or we had a group of people go up to, it was like a backyard ultra where you run 6.7k on the hour, every hour, for as long as you can do.
My pals did that.
Aye, so then, you know, one of the guys he's experienced anyway, but he got 100 miles, he got 24 hours. We get 2 people that have never done it before that got over 100k. It's like, that's insane. Yeah, it was mental. So you've got all these people that are just normal people, normal jobs, love the gym, love coming in and seeing everybody and pushing each other, and then they go and do some mad stuff, and then you're like, you're doing stuff that proper athletes aren't doing or whatever. So it's,
and people have it in them.
Definitely.
They just don't know. And
then it's inspiration for me, because I'm like, well, my job's training and my job's to be an athlete. So I'm not letting Joe Blogs
yeah, beat me.
be better than me at like training, you know what I mean? Because then you're like, what's going on?
Yeah. And take me through like a day of training. So you've got a fight coming up. Who is it? Italian? The guy's Cristobal Loriente. Is he Italian?
He's Spanish, I think.
Spanish. So Cristobal Loriente. How is your? I know you might not be able to say too much here because it's in October, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
7 weeks away on Saturday.
How was your training? Like, what are you doing to train for this fight against this gent?
Just the usual. Just it's always the same training. It's always running. It's always sprints. It's always weights. It's always this. The only thing that will differ per like every opponent is the sparring you do. So
right,
you would pick somebody who boxes similar to or has the same attributes as Cristobal, and then you'll go and travel to spar them or bring them to you to spar. Or
you pick them based on attributes. So you'll pick your sparring partner based on the fact that they're the same height.
This guy, So if this guy's a bit taller, he boxes out of an orthodox stance, which is a right-handed guy.
Okay.
And then he's got a high work rate. So you look for the three things in people across the UK.
Okay.
And then I'll just contact them or my coach will contact them and it'll be like, can we come and get some rounds in with you? And that's kind of you mimicking that fight.
Right, okay, that makes sense.
And then out with that, you'll do like pads to work on certain shots against this person or so on. So that's the only thing that ever changes. It's always hard training out with.
And take me through that. You mentioned like, so you've got your running. I'm going to guess fitness is the key component, right, to all of this. So what do you do? Like, take me through a day of your from what you can, because you might not be able to say everything.
I was trying to think, could I take you through yesterday? But it was my birthday yesterday. I'd done some mad stuff, so I was like...
You were up at 4 a.m, right? Running up a hill.
Yeah, we done like hill sprints, 29 hill sprints for 29 years. That was rough, and now today my legs are feeling it. And then I went straight from that to the Morning Madness session at the gym, which was like 29 themed, so it was like a You Go I Go style, so say me and you were partnered up. Do you know what? You need to come down.
Yeah, I will.
Me and you were partnered up, let's say, we just would... I'd do my stuff, you'd do your stuff, I'd do my stuff, and then later on in the day I'd done boxing. But let's say a normal day... Friday, let's say I'm sparring, okay? So I'll get up, get a wee bit of breakfast, I'll maybe do a wee bit of a jog or a walk just to shake my legs off. I'll spar at 1 o'clock, however many rounds that is, and then get my lunch, whatever, and then I'll go back to the gym at like night time and I'll do my like heavy strength work.
Right, and what is the heavy strength work? Are you doing bench?
Like squats, bench.
Right.
Could be anything, trap bar deadlift, it could be different like speed work, plyometrics, whatever. I've got a coach, you probably have seen him if you're on social media or TikTok, his name's Enhanced Sports Performance, but he like is always voiceover in videos of people and slagging their training.
I think I have, yeah.
So that's my strength and conditioning guy, so he just sends me my plan and I work through it. And you follow it.
Right, okay. Because I feel like I think not just for me, but actually, me as well. But people kind of get caught in the same loop of training, right? Because it's what they're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And I've definitely fallen into this trap as much as the next person, right? So I do my weights. I do like 4 days a week, weights a week, and then maybe do 2 days of cardio.
Yeah.
But I always alternate between the same exercises.
Yeah.
What would you suggest in terms of someone that's wanting to lean up and strengthen up?
See, to be honest, and it might be like cliched, but without sounding like that, it's really all about diet, because it doesn't matter how much muscle you put on or how much you want to lean up or tone up or get fitter or whatever it is. If you're eating the wrong things, it'll never be visible. It'll never be. You won't ever feel good. So I always say that to people when I'm talking to them about training, and they're like, how'd you do this, how'd you do that, or how'd you get in shape so fast, or and it's like, well, as soon as it's time to diet, it's time to diet, and that's...
Yeah, you don't eat any shit.
So I've got muscles, I've got everything's built already under me. As soon as it's time to lean up, it's diet time, you know, so... And that is the only way. It
sounds shit, but there's like... I just fucking love pasta, man. But
that's like a common misconception as well, because actually when you go into, like, say I'm into training camp and people are like, oh, how are you operating on low calories, or how are you doing 3 sessions a day on low calories? Well, carbohydrates are important for energy. I've got a nutritionist, thankfully, and I've started to understand more as I got older. Like when I was an amateur boxer and you had to make weight, let's say every week or whatever, and hang about there, you would like anything you ate was like a bad, everything's bad.
Yeah.
Pasta's bad, rice is bad. Like, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. And then you would majorly undereat.
Yeah.
And then
you like starve yourself almost.
Yeah, your performance can't be as good. Whereas I can eat I'm let's say I'm on 1,800 calories. I can eat 5 meals a day on 1,800 calories and feel amazing.
Yeah.
Actually, I probably feel better eating that amount of calories than I do eating 3,000 calories because I feel clunky and big and slow. So I'm like, people have this misconception of like, oh, you need to be eating a lot to fuel this and fuel that. But if you're eating the right things and plan it right,
you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you eat in a day?
I've literally only got 3 days of different things. So
Right, okay.
like, let's say today is like a medium day of training. So I've got 2 sessions. One was boxing there, which was hard, but then let's say my session later on is like a cycle or a
Yeah.
something light.
Cardio like.
Yeah, so it's a moderate session, so a moderate day. So I woke up this morning, I would have porridge with berries and a wee bit of peanut butter. That's fine. 65 grams of porridge is quite like, it's a lot of volume when
Quite
you're eating
chunky.
it. Yeah, so like that's all I've had so far today. And then I done my training, came here, but
So you've not eaten lunch?
Yeah, but I'm not even hungry. Like,
Really?
you know what, it's weird. Like, I've had this big bowl of porridge.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me personally, but I've had this big bowl of porridge and I'm like, I don't really need to eat again till whatever. What I should be having for lunch is like a taco bowl, so like 5% beef mince,
Yeah.
bit of rice, bit of lettuce,
You got
salsa.
all your kind of like essentials in that.
Yep, and then that's only like 400 calories. So I've had 400 calories for breakfast, 400 calories for lunch. My dinner's like chicken wraps, chicken Caesar wrap. That's only like 300 calories. So I'm actually like 1,200 calories by the time I get to dinner, and then I get like a nice wee like yogurt bowl and stuff. So I've got wee fillers in between, but
Yeah.
you're like, I've had 3 decent meals, low calories, with everything I need in them, and I'm not that hungry, and I've trained 3 times or 2 times.
Do you find you're clearer? Like, I feel like when I eat carbs, I think when most people eat carbs, whether it's a pizza, pasta, whatever it might be, you feel so groggy and just like awful after it. Like when I do a podcast after I eat pasta, I can see visibly I'm like slow and like a bit rubbish. Do you feel that mental clarity when you diet?
Definitely. And like, honestly, I couldn't shout about it enough. And it sounds stupid because, like, see, when I don't diet and I'm out of camp and I have got that, let's say, 2 weeks rest period, I will eat McDonald's every day. Like, not even as a meal. Like, I could eat my breakfast, go home, I drive past McDonald's on Great Western Road.
Yeah.
I'll jump in and get like 2 double cheeseburgers or 2 triple cheeseburgers because I'm a greedy BASDARD. And then like I'll go home and then Anna could be like, "Oh, do you want something for lunch?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, make it.
Yeah. But like, see the difference you feel in like your mind, your body from eating clean to that. I'll never stop doing that because it's just a part of like the process and the cycle of like making weight, coming out of weight, making weight. Like if I was always down there, I would be like, I hate this.
Yeah.
But this 3 months where you're in a training camp and you start dieting and your weight does come down and then everything else starts to fall into place. So like, okay, my weight's falling. Well, my running times are getting really fast. I feel good now because people are saying, wow, your running
you're
times
doing
are
well.
good. Yeah. And then at this morning sessions, let's say, people are like, wow, you're looking like
Lean.
everything's fast, everything's moving, you're looking good. Like then you start going right. And then like you're saying, the mental clarity, the waking up earlier, it's not as hard. You're not as tired after your sessions. You're like, okay, this is all falling into place. And then a big thing that I don't do out of camp is like drink water.
Yeah.
See, when I'm in and I'm drinking like 3-4 liters a day and like
Oh, so you're pretty religious.
flushing it out, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, I feel amazing here. Like, you just feel clear. I don't know. It's weird.
It's sad that people don't ever, because I wouldn't say that I've ever strictly dieted, but I definitely eat healthy.
Yeah.
And like, it's sad to think that people will never understand that feeling of mental clarity. And it's not their fault, by the way, it's education.
Yeah.
So like, if this is factual as well. So McDonald's will open up in poor neighborhoods because they don't have the education to know that McDonald's is bad.
Yeah.
So like, it's a horrible business, but it is very successful because it adopts that scheme.
Yep.
But like, people will never fully understand without the dieting and the education piece what they can feel like. Like they'll always be like, oh, my joints are inflamed. Well, potentially the reason your joints are inflamed is because you have a wheat intolerance, and wheat is in almost everything: bread, pasta, pizza. So if you cut out that, maybe your inflammation goes down, and a lot of time it does. Yeah. But people just don't have that education piece, which is really sad.
And that's like the harsh reality of the UK as a whole, the culture behind eating and drinking, and that will never change because it's so deep rooted as like, I don't think you'll ever get out of that. And the people I talk to on a day-to-day basis about dieting or whatever, and like, it blows their mind. And then they still don't care. They'll go and do what they're doing anyway and go and eat what they're eating anyway. And like, I'm eating, I've heard people say to me, I'm eating healthy tonight, and then go and tell me their dinner. And I'm like, where's the healthy eating happening or whatever? And it's like, okay. And they think they're eating healthy just because they're not getting a takeaway. But if they put a Chicago Town pizza in the oven, they think that's eating clean. Healthy. And you're like, just because you make something in your house doesn't mean it's healthy. Clean. Same way as you could go and get like, you could go to an Indian and get grilled chicken on the grill, and it'll probably be better than whatever you're making in the house. Like there's the education around eating is so far gone.
It's so perfect.
It's crazy. Yeah. And then even like being brought up eating something all the time, and then that's like your parents' attitude comes down to you, and then by the time you hit 18, 19, 20, you're too far gone. You've got a sugar addiction. You're rattling trying to stop eating chocolate or crisps or whatever. Like, I'm just speaking as well for experience. Like, I really struggle when I stop eating chocolate or when I stop eating whatever. I've got a major sweet tooth. Yeah. Then you start thinking, right, how can I replace this? When you work that out, that's fine. But then you're like, nothing's ever going to compare to chocolate. So
it's great.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a never-ending cycle of being like, wow, what am I going to do here?
So I went traveling ages ago to South America. So like South Americans, when you look at them, they eat a lot of like potatoes, fries. So a lot of them are quite big, but they don't eat chocolate. Like for some reason, they just don't, for whatever reason it is, they just don't like gravitate towards chocolate and like sweet stuff. They're not as big on. It's more pastries and that kind of stuff. So when I went over, I had a major sweet tooth, but they had no chocolate. So I was like, I can't eat anything. I then came back 3 months later, and in the office there was like little Mars, those little celebration boxes? Yep. And I was like, fuck, class. So I could go through so many of them. Took one bite of one, and I was like, holy shit, it's so sweet. I was like, I can't, that's like syrup. Like I was like, I can't, but it just shows you. And then 2 weeks later, I was like, I could probably eat them again. Because you're addicted again. Yeah. And it's everywhere. It's everywhere you look. Like even honey. If you get the light packs of honey, like they kind of look a bit more white, like kind of caramelly. Yeah. It's like 99% sugar. Yep. And then, because I substituted honey thinking that it was good. And then all of a sudden you look at the ingredients and you're like, actually, I'm just putting sugar over this in a different form.
Yeah, in a different form. It's funny. And then like when I talk to people about things like that, it reminds me of like the Kevin Bridges thing where he's talking about, I was eating healthy and I said to my PT I had a banana, an apple or whatever, and he's like, oh, so you had all this sugar and fruit and stuff. And he's like, actually I had a Teddy's chocolate orange. I just think that's hilarious because like somebody will, I've got a mate, he trains with my brother-in-law in the gym. And he puts up his breakfast every morning. I've not said to him yet because I can't bring myself to say to him. So if you're watching this and you know who you are, but he puts out a thing every morning. He's got yogurt and then he's got piles of granola on it. And I'm like, the sugar in granola is major. Like, you're probably eating as many calories as you would eat. You'd be better off getting 2 double sausage and egg McMuffins than your bowl of granola that you're eating. So I'm like, yeah, it's hard. And then, like you're saying, people think they're substituting something,
and they're not,
with a healthy thing, and it's like, really, it's equal calories or equal sugar or equal whatever. Either way, but you just think that one because it's been pushed towards you as this is the healthy option.
It's been marketed to you. Did you see the thing about creatine gummies?
Yes, and I was raging because I bought the Overload creatine gummies because they kept popping up on my Instagram, and then like one day later, I think it was James Smith.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
And I watched it. It was like a 20-minute thing, and I was like,
damn it.
I've just been scammed out my creatine gummy money. Yeah. So, aye.
But if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. Yep. Like, creatine gummies, I was like, wow, these are really sweet. These taste great, but they're good for me? That must be. But obviously they're not. Like, creatine's kind of shit. It's like a white powder that you drink. And you're like, I don't really like this. But do you supplement?
With creatine? And I was talking about this the other day with somebody because he's like, I just put a creatine into like a wee thing and I'm like, surely you don't. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm like, I put it in diluting juice, anything I can do to mask it. Let's shake it up so you can't even taste the granules.
It's like chalk.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
If it's too good to be true, it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And then, do you know what? Like, always really grinds my gears, and it shouldn't, because like, that's what it is. It's your life. Do whatever you want. But see, I used to like online coach people and whatever, and you would give them their diet, or you would give them a set amount of calories, or you would give them this, or you give them that, and then they're like, oh, this is really hard, or I'm not enjoying this, or that doesn't taste good. And I'm like, well, it's not really meant to.
Yeah.
Because if it did, then everybody would be just solid and ripped, and like, it's meant to be boring. It's meant to be, you're meant to be hungry for a while. You're meant to be, things don't taste nice.
Yeah.
You're literally just eating to fuel your body. I was talking to somebody about it the other day as well. I was like, we drove to Liverpool for sparring the other day, and I was like, mate, I ate a bowl of cold mince, cold rice, cold salad, like, but I ate it because I needed it, and it was like, that was it, and it got me through my spar and then the train ride home or whatever we done. And I'm like, you don't eat because you want to taste something nice. You need to eat to fuel, and then that's it. If you want to get in shape, that's like the harsh reality of it. I'm not saying you can't have anything nice, but
was people think everything comes easy nowadays. I think that's part of the issue, is people have the instant gratification of social media, or take Ozempic and you'll lose weight. And like, we had Naveed Sattar on, who is a leading health, he's a doctor and he's a leading health expert, and he was going over why the NHS is under strain. And I essentially asked him outright, what's going on? And he said, there's too many overweight people.
Yeah.
And I said, right, and do you think Ozempic is the cure to that? He said, I think it's good for see if you can't move, if you're bedbound because you're so overweight. He said, fair enough. But he said, if you're just taking it because you're a little bit overweight, there's going to be a sting in the tail of that. Something's going to go wrong because you're messing with your brain's hormones. He said there's there's eye conditions that are linked to Ozempic. You're sick because you're sick so much it erodes all your teeth. There's like so much shit that comes out of it. Nothing comes easy. It comes with, like, if you want to be naturally, have a good physique, be good at something, you need to put in years and years and years and years of effort, and only then can it come to fruition. There was I can't remember the quote exactly, but I remember saying this to Blair Kinghorn. Like, I think that, what was the quote? It was so good. I was so proud of myself when I got it as well. It was like success is years of hard work seen for the first time. Yeah. Because people will see you on the screen boxing and being like, fucking hell, that guy's so naturally talented. Yeah. They won't see the diet or the 10 years that you've been doing it prior to get to the stage you are.
100%.
So it's just like perception. I think that people really do think that things should come like that.
Definitely. So and I think, do you know what? Who was I watching? I was watching a podcast or an interview of somebody really successful, but the guy was in great shape, and he says, like, money doesn't mean anything. You could scam somebody and get money. You can get money illegitimately. You can do this, you can do that, or belongings don't mean anything. But if you're in good shape, you can't fake that. You can't, like, there's no way around that. Even if you take steroids, if you take this, if you take that, you still need to work to get to the shape that you're in. Or you see these people who have took steroids who are in incredible shape. They never just took a steroid and became massive. They still had to grind for it. So it's like the one true thing that you can show, like, I've worked for this, I've dedicated to this, is a great physique. Yeah. So I always thought that was great and interesting, because there is too many. Everybody's always like, okay, I can just crash diet for 8 weeks. But after the 8 weeks are done, your holiday's done, and you're away, like, you've not changed your lifestyle, you're not healthy, you're not in great condition. Like, you can't say, I'm dedicated or I'm consistent to this. You've just managed to kind of wing it for 8 weeks. Yeah. I love it when people begin a training program or a diet, and no matter what stage of the journey they're at, see the fact that they're on it in the first place and they're really trying. Like, that means so. See, when I see people in the gym that are maybe slightly overweight, but the fact they're making the effort to go
and lose it is so inspiring.
Definitely.
Like it's so like I love to see it, and people shouldn't be nervous if they are, you know, maybe slightly overweight or they've never been to the gym before. They want to get a bit fitter, because normally people that have been to the gym for a long time really like to see that.
Yeah.
Like they really like to see new people coming in and kind of adding to that community. Right, we'll get back onto fighting. So you've got your upcoming fight. We've covered pay. One thing I wanted to ask you about, because you mentioned you were at you weren't at, but you watched the Usyk Dubois fight. What did you think of it?
I'm going to be fairly honest. I wasn't really interested in it. I knew that what was going to happen. Dubois already quit, in my opinion, against Usyk, and Usyk's just like a modern day great, and I don't think anybody can compete with him anyway. That plus the undercard was terrible, in my opinion. So the whole event I wasn't that bothered about. I literally just tuned in for that fight, and then after that fight, it all came out that Dubois' dad and all that was having parties and stuff on the day of the fight in his house, and then he got to the fight and all these entourage of people had came, and he's like, my son's not fighting if all these people for the party can't get in backstage and all that. So it was wild.
What?
Did you not see any of that?
No, I didn't see any of that.
So there was like videos coming out of him having, like, he's in the house on fight day getting ready to go and whatever,
And there's a
and his
party
dad's
going on in
having a
his house.
party with all these people who are obviously like
Yeah.
leeches. Not like, it wasn't like as if it was his family or anything. It was like his dad's mates, people from the hood, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they all go to the fight, and then his dad's at the door arguing with security, saying like, my son's not fighting tonight
If the party people don't come, the entourage don't
yeah,
come.
into the dressing room at the back, into the back and all that, blah blah blah. And Dubois has to go back and get them all in, and there was all that came out about after it. So
Yeah, the mentality's gone.
It was mental. So
Yeah.
I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, it's just you. But the thing about Usyk that he is so level-headed. Like, he's got his family. I know that you said about religion. I think he's a guy that's
He's really legit about it.
legitimately religious.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
But like, yeah, if your dad's having a party in your house or flat prior to you even going to the fight, like, what your mental status on that fight is going to shift massively.
100%. Like, they were all celebrating as if he'd already
won.
won. And you're like, mate, you're in the hardest fight of your life. This guy's already stopped you, you know what I mean? So it's like, so I wasn't really interested in it. I'm never really interested in heavyweight fights, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I'm a lower weight guy, and I do think like all the best fights are at the lower weights, and nobody really gives it the credit it's due, because people like to see the heavyweights and the big punches and the whatever. But if you look down the lower weights, as like people's punch resistance is higher, so the shots aren't as hard. So actually, it turns into a bit like of
More of a
all out
fight.
wars, yeah. Like, so you're actually seeing more action for your money than what you're seeing at heavyweights. But people are like, it's just the wee guys. We don't care about them.
You know, I'm so with you on that, because the first time this ever happened as well. So I was kind of like, I think it was like 3 years ago, maybe. When was the Wilder Fury trilogy?
Ages, years ago now.
Maybe the final fight was maybe 2 years ago. It was something like that. It was maybe 2 years ago. And this is when I started getting into boxing. And I watched the entire thing. Instead of just watching the heavyweight fight, I was like, I'm going to watch the entire thing. And the fights prior to the heavyweight match were probably better than the actual heavyweight match.
Yeah.
And I was like, why have I never known about this? Like it's it's insane, but like, you are right that it's more of an all-out war, because it's not a one-punch knockout. It's who can hurt each other the most before they get that like final blow. I think that's probably what's your favorite match that you've ever won? Or watched?
That last one.
That last one. One or watched?
One that I've watched. My favourite match that I've watched is probably been Canelo fought Golovkin, and at the time, like, Golovkin was one of my favourite fighters, but also Canelo was one of my favourite fighters, and they were both proper fighters, and it was like big questions about who's gonna knock the other one out, because they both had, like, Golovkin had 100% knockout ratio and Canelo had like 80-90% knockout ratio, but it was one of the ones, and then it was an all-out war, and it was brilliant. That's probably, I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Who's the all-time great in your mind?
Floyd Mayweather. He's my all-time great.
What about Muhammad Ali?
No, I don't care.
Why?
Just don't care. I just like, I don't. This means nothing to me. Like,
But in terms of like cultural relevance, like I'm not saying he's the best fighter that's ever lived.
Yeah.
But in terms of what he stood for,
yeah. Well, that's culturally irrelevant to me because I don't really care that much about it. Like, so.
yeah.
People always say things like, "Oh, Muhammad Ali's great because he stood for this and he stood for like," but I just care about boxing. So it's like, Floyd Mayweather's my great. He done what he retired undefeated, bet every world champion put in front of him.
Yeah.
You know, went in as an all-time great. So like, I don't really like. I've never thought, oh, Muhammad Ali. Even when I think about heavyweights, I'm like Mike Tyson because he's a mad killer.
Yeah.
I like his quotes and his mad crazy stuff he says.
But Mike Tyson, man, like see when he just got out of prison. I remember watching this fight, like rewatch. I wasn't alive when it was on. Probably I was so young, but like the look that he had when he got out of prison and he was jacked and he had the six pack and he had like every muscle was so prominent. And he like came in with like no socks on and no walkout music. He was just there to like kill the opponent.
Aye.
I think he was in everyone's head like at that point. Like there was no stopping him.
Aye.
Because like he didn't care. He was like, I'm not here for the fans. I'm here to like rip you apart.
people.
Yeah, like actually rip you apart. See if you were to fight Mike Tyson, how would you go against him? Like in terms of how would you couldn't, you know think?
I don't know.
Yeah?
I actually don't know. Like, if you were fighting prime Mike Tyson, there's probably nothing you could do.
He's on your inside immediately.
That's it.
Yeah.
That guy was an animal. Yeah, legit.
He had a lion, man.
I know.
Or a tiger. Sorry, he had a tiger. Who
He's,
the fuck does that? Who does that?
Don't know. So it's so like cool. It's cool. It's like he's the man. He was the man. Like, and it was like that aura around him is like, don't fuck with Mike Tyson. That was it.
Yeah.
So
What about Usyk? Like, see when you look at Usyk's fights, I know he's a heavyweight. I know he's a different division to you. But when you look at his fights, do you see any weaknesses in his performance?
nah,
Nothing.
he's just technically great, and you know the stories that you surround Usyk and Lomachenko and the Ukrainians and the training that they go through, and it's like 4-minute rounds or 4.5-minute rounds of sparring, 30-second rest, 15 rounds. Like, that's wild. That's like next level of. I'm sitting there talking at the start of this podcast like, nobody works hard as me, blah 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 blah, and then you're like, well, okay, maybe like the Usyks and the. That's kind of like next level. They're doing crazy training that has been passed down from generations of like the initial people with the Soviet style, and like, they're just built different, like built hard, built coming up through like war-torn kind of situations I'm literally trying to take my family out of craziness.
Like, yeah. Well, it makes sense. They've got something really deep that they're fighting for.
Yeah.
Well, how does their training, you mentioned there, Soviet style, does their training differentiate from like yours in a way? I know that heavyweights are obviously different.
Like if you look at there's like certain countries, Kazakhstan,
Kazakhstan's
Uzbekistan,
scary.
You know, these kind of countries where their training differentiates, where they're up in the mountains or they're doing crazy styles of training that we've probably never even seen or heard of in terms of technique work, in terms of like, even when you used to see like Lomachenko and he would do like juggling, handstands, press ups on his knuckles, like mental stuff, you're like, why are you even doing that? And then you'd watch him and he would just be so quick, so fast, so like his footwork was unmatchable, like and that's like he was starting at my weight, featherweight, and moved through, so like Usyk's like a heavyweight version of that. It's just the guy's untouchable.
You ever tried like high altitude training or anything like that?
I've not went and done like a high altitude camp or anything now.
So essentially what happens is when you go to, I mean, you'll know this more than me, but like when you go to high altitude, your red blood cells multiply and that allows more oxygen to be like essentially travel around the body so that you need to breathe less, but you get more air in. So when you go to high altitude and then come back to low altitude, you feel incredible for like 3 months until it fades off. That's what like a lot of the tennis players do, stuff like this. I would suggest it. I think you'd really like it.
Yeah, it would be great. I know obviously a lot of the bigger named people go to, it's called Big Bear in America, and it's like a training camp you can have, and it's up in the mountains. And then there's good, again, Kazakhs that all train in the mountains and stuff. So
they're terrified. The beards and everything. You're like, oh
they're
my
like
God.
legit scary guys. So, I would love to try that. I'd love to do it. Sometimes I feel like, but I've got this far.
Yeah.
I've got this far not doing it, but you don't know until you meet somebody like that.
Yeah. Is there any fights that you have ever been scared for?
Nah.
Nothing. Like, even I know that there's the fighting bravado that's like, listen, I'm not scared of anyone. I'm going to kill everyone in this division. I'm going to rip their heads off. But is there ever been anyone that you've been like, this guy's got a big punch on him, and I'm fucking not getting in the way of that?
Huh?
Not
really, because it's the sport that you're in. So if you don't want to get hit off a guy with a big punch, you shouldn't be boxing. I've said this loads of times to my partner. I says, like, I could get knocked clean out, so be prepared for that to me. I can't get knocked clean out because I'm actually get a cast iron chin, touch wood, I never get knocked out. But I've been hit with some clean, crisp shots, even in my last fight, straight on the chin, and I've never even so much as seen
double
a flash or a stars or a double or anything. So touch wood, that always remains that way. But I says to my missus, like, I could get wiped out one day. You never know what happened. Like, anything can happen in boxing. It doesn't matter how good you are. Anybody's got the ability to be knocked out clean. So I says, just prepare yourself for that. But I've prepared myself for that mentally, as in, you could get knocked out one day. So why am I going to be scared of it when I've accepted it?
Do you worry about that at all in terms of the future?
Nah, see, to be fair, I don't think I could get knocked out. That's just me being brutally honest, because I've been hit so clean on the chin off of so many different people, big punchers, in sparring, in fights. I've never been wobbled or moved or whatever, so I don't think that can happen to me. I don't know, but it could.
Does it worry?
To anybody?
It can happen to anyone. Does it worry you in terms of the not being knocked out directly, but the future when it comes to being punched in the face for a living, essentially?
Aye. Like CTE is meant to be a big, serious problem. I don't know the side effects. I don't know the telltale signs. Sometimes I'm talking to my missus about stuff, and I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And I don't.
I think everyone gets that.
I don't remember it, or like I could talk to anybody about like really big. We were talking the other day. So one of my friends sent a photo in of his son to our group chat once. It was just when it was a baby, just born, and I was like, everybody was like, "Whose baby is that?" His missus was pregnant. They didn't know she was pregnant, and then one day she went into hospital, and then they had a baby, and the guy was like, "You're pregnant, but the baby's been growing its back towards your belly, so you've not really shown
all the signs of it.
Of signs of being pregnant." So like nobody knew they were pregnant, and then they just had a baby.
Oh my God!
Randomly on a day, right? I totally forgot about that story. We were talking about it the other day, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard that story in my life. And then I sat and thought about it for a while, and I was like, no, I do remember that. I actually do remember that, but it was just totally in my head, and I'm like, am I just forgetful, or could you be doing like? Well, maybe, I don't know.
Well, maybe it's not relevant to you. I think like when you resurface a memory again and again, like it sticks in your mind, right? But like everyone has stimulus overload, so eventually they're gonna have to delete stuff.
Yeah,
it's like a bit like in computer, you've got a hard drive. You need to like delete shit to make space for others, and like things change, and you change hobby, and then you delete the old hobby, and you know you learn a language, but you don't use it for years. You've deleted most of it, so you need to relearn it.
Aye.
Like so, like I think that I wouldn't say that's a sign. I'm not a professional, but like I wouldn't say that's.
Aye,
that's probably just
that's probably one example. Like But that's something that happens often to me, but I don't know if I'm just forgetful or whatever. But, you know, there's people I've spoke to in boxing that I've known for years, and, like, you talk to them and they actually can't form a sentence that's coherent. You're like, what are you even saying? Like, we call them punchy, like punch drunk. And you're like, oh, that person's punchy, you can tell, but, like, they're probably thinking what they're trying to say, but they're like,
can't get it out.
And you're like, whoa. And you're like, you've took too many shots in your career.
Is there any way back from that? Or?
Nah, that's like irreversible damage.
Jesus Christ.
Aye. And that's like, I don't know if that, like, still mentally they're switched on or whatever, but you can actually hear it in their speech, slurring their words, struggling to think of what they're going to say next or whatever. Like, that's like a proper thing. I'm sure you said you had the rugby boys on, like, that'll be a common rugby thing.
Sure. Yeah.
But
that's scary.
A wee bit, but that's like the nature of the sport you're in, or the nature of the, like, it sounds daft. Everybody probably says that's how you talk to it's in a impact sport, is you could step off the curb tomorrow and get hit by a bus. You could trip over a curb, hit your head, and get brain damage. You could, there's a million
get
things
into a
that can
bar
happen.
fight,
So it's,
hit the curb.
There's like literally a million things that can happen to you. You never are able to predict what's going to happen. Here, you're on your own terms, and that's like saying, okay, I could have not done boxing and I can live a full life and not at 65 have CTE or brain problems or whatever, or I could do boxing, get to there. You don't know where this will be, if you'll make it to the 65 here. You don't know if you'll make it to the 65 here. You don't know if you never done it. Would you get there and you've lived your whole life working 9 to 5 for somebody and hating your life and whatever? Or have I took this opportunity and got to there? Aye, I'm a bit messed up in the head, but
I've done more than most.
Aye.
Yeah. I suppose it's quality of life as well. And if you're doing something, like, you see people that are skydivers, like professional skydivers, and then that's their thing. They love it. And if they didn't do that, they would hate existing.
Definitely.
But it's
the risk is
pretty
you
risky.
Could try to pull your parachute and it doesn't come and you're dead.
That's exactly it. But yeah, I don't know. It's like, yeah, I feel like everyone has stuff that they do that there's a degree of risk to it. I just feel like the risk is higher when it comes to that, or you like UFC fighters, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Like, because it is knocks to the head. I don't know why. Is there being studies? I don't. You probably know more of this than me. Is there being studies done on it to, like, try and prevent against it, or is there more rules involved? Or
not as far as I'm aware. When I was an amateur, everyone wore head guards.
Right.
There was studies that said that actually the head guards stop, like,
the brain wobble.
Yeah, like, so if you never had the head guard on, you get hit, you can move your head and the brain comes with it. If you had your head guard on and get hit, your brain can bounce off the side of the wall of your head, but your head might not move, so you're actually better taking the shot and going with it than taking it and letting your brain bounce about, because that's absorbed the shock a bit. So it's like, it's one of the ones, like, who knows? You don't know. And then apparently there's no way of testing for CTE until you're dead. What? So you can have symptoms of it, or you can maybe visibly see this or that, but you actually can't confirm it till you're dead, apparently.
Why? I don't know. So something in your brain, like, that they can't.
I might have just seen that and made that up.
Well, it kind of sounds like, because it's when it comes to your brain or your spine or something as important as that, normally they don't touch it. They go, I'm not going near that, because if I touch it, it could make it 10 times worse than it actually is right now. So it kind of makes sense. I don't know, man. That's, like, to me, that's just like, I think it scares me. Like, especially when you've got like your daughter, you know, your
Fiance.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Fiance.
We've actually been engaged for so long. I can't bring myself to pay money for a wedding.
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it?
That's mental.
Have you had a look at where you want to do it?
No. But all my pals are getting married, and it's like, 30 grand, 40 grand.
Oh my God.
I'm like, hi.
Wait till I win number 20.
Aye, definitely. I'd rather put that into some house, into some crypto or something.
Yeah.
That
makes sense.
Aye. I don't know. It's weird. You get a medical every year, and you do a brain test, so you get an MRI every year, and if anything flags up on that, you need to go and do further tests, like neurological tests. So, thankfully for me, nothing's ever flagged up, and I've never had to go and do extra tests. Or, people get told you just can't box. Like this is flagged up, and you can't box anymore, and that's it. There's issues with your brain test. I've known a lot of people like that, and it got more common recently. They changed the kind
more advanced.
And so then, like not a couple of years ago, it might be like 10 years ago, when I was just getting into boxing, a guy for Stirling called Mike Towell died, and he was fighting on BBC.
Yeah, I remember that.
He had like a bleed to the brain or whatever it happened.
Oh my God, man.
Prior to that, I think he had some issues and with headaches and things like that. And after he passed away, and obviously, God rest his soul, they started being a bit stricter with the brain tests and kind of actually analysing them and saying, no, you need to go back and do a neurological test, or you need to go back and do this, you need to go back and get a second scan or something.
It's quite right. I think that if, like, when it comes to life and death, would you pick boxing or would you pick life?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? When it comes down to that
you ask that question, to me, I would pick life. You could ask that question to a lot of boxers and they'll pick boxing over life. That's mental.
Why is that? What is in them that...
They just don't know anything else.
It's scary that. Like, I think that you seem to be quite switched on to business outside boxing. Mm-hmm. You've got other things going on that you enjoy outside boxing. But you do get people that just don't educate themselves on anything else outside the sport.
Yeah.
But the sport inevitably is going to end because you're going to age.
Yeah.
Whether that's football, rugby, boxing, American, whatever it is. Like, for example, the rugby boys, they've got a career of maybe, if they're lucky, 15 years, but they're going to be mostly metal by that point because they get hit so hard. Boxers, it's 15 years? I mean, Usyk's 39.
I mean, he's an exception.
He's an exception.
A very rare exception of getting to that age and still boxing.
And still being in that shape,
yeah,
man.
Definitely.
It's insane.
But, you're talking 33, 34 and being done.
Yeah.
And that's if you're lucky.
Yeah.
But the prime example of it now is, I was at the press conference for this fight last week and Josh Taylor was there.
Yeah.
And he's had to retire because he had issues with his eye. Can't remember what it was. I don't know if he had detached retinas or whatever. So he's had a couple of surgeries on his eye anyway. But if he didn't retire, he was going to go blind, basically.
Jesus Christ.
So he's retired, but he's somebody that's been at the top of the sport for a good few years, and he's still got probably a lot to give, or enough to give over the next couple of years. He's been forced to retire. He was saying at the press conference a couple of weeks ago, or last week or whenever it was, he's taking it really hard and he's finding it really hard because that was his life, and that's always just been his life since 10 years old or whenever he started boxing, you know what I mean? And he's 32, 33, potentially, you know what I mean? Like, he could have done another 2 or 3 years, and then now it's like, what did I do?
Yeah.
Like, it's just abruptly stopped. What did I do? All I've done's boxing. So and it's like, people aren't like me. I do other sports and other things and other whatever, but he was like, I genuinely don't do anything. I've got he's into motorbikes and whatever. He's like, I've got a motorbike, I'm going to go and do that. But then he's like, I don't really have anything else to do. So then you start, it's one of the ones, it's like footballers who all they knew about was football or cared about was football, and then they stop footballing, and then what do you do?
They go mental. but also that's partially why they're so good at the sport, right?
Yeah.
Because they've got nothing else.
Yeah.
It's like, he was doing it since he was 10 years old. That's all he's knowing. That's why he was so good.
Yeah.
But then the kind of fallout to that is that when it does end,
which it will, always.
Which it will. Like, what are you going to do?
Aye.
And I think that's quite good with you, from what, because there's people that I've spoken to that you can see, and this is partially why they're so incredible at what they do, but they are just involved in the one thing and that's it. Whereas you've diversified quite a lot. Like there's lots of different things that you are involved in that if it weren't to follow through in boxing, it will, but if it weren't to, you've kind of got that to fall back on.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm like, under no illusions, I want to spend time with my family and my daughter. And actually, I feel like, you know, my daughter's been neglected for the first 2 or 3 years of her life, which, you know, I'm hoping she won't remember when she gets older. But it's like, I've not spent all the best time with my daughter. I've not been the best dad to my daughter. You know, I've tried to be the best I can be, but like, I train 3 times a day or 2 times a day, every day. I've not got the energy or the time or the like patience, or like, I'm just want to lie down. If I lie down, I'm sleeping. If I'm in the house, I'm eating. Like, it's not like, oh, let's all go out to soft play and get a panini and then go to cinema and get popcorn. And like, that's not like, I miss every event. I miss every thing because I'm not going to put myself in a position where I need to either eat crap or like, everybody else is pure enjoying themselves and I'm hating life. Like, I just don't do it. I don't care who it upsets. I don't care who it offends. I don't care if it's like, I just won't do it. So it's like, I'm under no illusion that if boxing doesn't pay off, I'm going to get all this time back with my daughter because now I get to go and focus all that time into my family. So...
And she will appreciate it. Listen, I don't think you're a bad dad by any means. You're providing for your family.
Yeah.
And like, people sacrifice more. People go to like jobs 9 till 5, 9 till 6, whatever, that they despise and they're depressed. So even the time that they might be spending with their daughter or family, they're not really there.
Yeah.
Clocked out. Like, they're mentally just not available.
Aye.
Like, and like, I know people like this they go home, they're miserable, they spend time with their family, but it's because they have to.
Aye.
Not because they want to. And that's the flip. Like, that's what you need to, like, I work because I love to do what I do.
Yeah.
You're the same. Like, you train 3 times a day. If you didn't like it, you wouldn't fucking do it.
Nah.
Like I film podcasts. I've got a podcast with a girl in Australia, I think tomorrow actually. So I'll be up at like 6 a.m. tomorrow just so I can film that before I start work. I wouldn't do this if I didn't like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you need to make sacrifices in life, but it's the fallout of that sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
You're getting money, you're getting paid, you're going to provide for your daughter when she eventually goes to school or university or college, whatever it is. Or if you have a second kid, you've got 2. So now you've got twice as expensive a problem.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And that's it. And you know what? The rewards are paying off. So, for example, we've not been on a family holiday or a proper family holiday since ever. But then last fight, I was managed to put us in a position, and then we went on a cruise and we had a brilliant time, and it was 2 weeks, and we seen all these countries, and the cabin was massive. And that's not me being like, oh, I'm bragging and stuff. I'm just like, we managed to actually get great quality time.
Yeah.
We experienced that if I was just doing a normal job, we probably would never have got.
Yeah.
And like, that was worth it to me, and it was worth it to them. And then we've came back now. I'm back into camp. Everyone's happy. And it's like, okay, we did get a great experience, and like, this is important to make it in this for this reason or that reason, you know? So, it makes it more...
It justifies it.
It justifies it.
It justifies it. The means justify the ends,
exactly,
so to speak. What would you do, right? See if you get to 20-0.
Yeah.
And you get a big... Because 20-0 is the biggie, right? Because that's when you get a big... I'm going to guess that's going to be a huge...
I don't know.
Milestone, so to speak.
I don't know. Well, there's people that are current world champions now that are only 10-0 or 15. I think everybody travels at their own kind of pace. Like, you could be at 20, and there's people that could be at 20-0 that fought 20 dumplings.
Aye.
20-0 for me will probably be amazing because, let's say, I've fought... Well, my wee cousin the other day was telling me that my last 10 fights have all been title fights.
Right.
So it's not like I've fought 10 nobodies. I've fought 10 title fights back to back for the last however many years. So it'll be important to me, but it's not that important. Like, nobody, I don't know. I don't care about records. I couldn't care if I was 20-0, 30-0, 10-1 or 10-2 or whatever. Like, the main goal is get to the top of the ladder.
Aye. How far is that away?
Well, I'm world ranked number 1 just now.
So not far.
No. Really, the reality is beat this guy.
Aye.
I need to beat this guy. There's no two questions about it. And emphatic fashion style.
Are you going for a knockout?
I need to, because the traction that last knockout got me and the positioning that last knockout got me, like, people want to see knockouts, people want to see violence.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I need to clean this guy out to show, like, it wasn't a fluke, it wasn't a nothing. Like, this guy's getting the same treatment, and then I should be getting a world title shot next. So, like,
That's
this
exciting.
this is the big one. This is like this is the step between, like, oh, could have made it, to I've made it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's me, I could have made it, or there's me and I've made it.
Yeah.
And this guy's in between them. So
Yeah.
it's like, you don't beat him. I'm not saying you're not going anywhere, but it's like, what I'm saying is, like, you don't beat him, you're back to square one, fighting Jimmy at the pub for $2,000. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah. Do you know the guy? What's his name
this
again?
guy, Lorente? No, I don't know him. I know him through, I've meant to have fought him a couple of times ago, but it never happened. But he's good. He's European champion. He's had a couple of defences title. He's bet some good guys. So he's no mug.
Yeah. And have you got a plan to you probably can't share
No,
stuff,
my plan's punch holes right through him. That's it. That's the plan. Punch holes through him. And you know what I mean? Again, like I'm saying, he's the step between getting
in
there.
your
Like,
way.
he's the reason that I'm not getting time with my daughter, and that's the way you need to think about it. This guy's taking food off my table.
Yeah.
He's taking time away from my family. Yeah, that's unacceptable. You know what I mean? Simple as.
That makes sense. It
Yeah.
makes sense. I'm excited for that fight.
I'm excited for this fight.
Get it over so you can eat your pizza again.
Definitely.
Couple more questions. I asked actually some people on the Into the Mind podcast Instagram, who's the most overrated boxer ever?
Who's the most overrated boxer ever? Jeez, oh.
If you say Muhammad Ali, I'll kill you.
Imagine. I feel like I indirectly said that when we were talking about it. Nah, who's the most overrated boxer? I don't know. That is a hard question. There's loads of them. I can't even think of one. That's like when you ask somebody to think of something, there's like loads of answers and they can't even come up with one. Who's the most overrated boxer ever? Anthony Joshua.
Really? Do you think?
Aye.
But he was unstoppable at one point. At one point, I suppose, and then he got Andy.
He wasn't really unstoppable, because if you actually look at him, he's come up, he fought like nobody's for his first. It's like we're talking about, he could have been 10-0 and everyone's like, oh, you're 10-0, but he fought 10 dumplings.
Right.
Then he fought Dylan White. He get rocked off Dylan White. He get rocked off Klitschko. Okay, they're decent wins. And then he get knocked out off Andy Cruz. So
Klitschko was 40.
40, yeah, he was like pat, and it was like a pure, like, I'm just coming back for the payday here.
Yeah.
So it was like, you're getting rocked off nobody's, you're getting rocked off 40-year-old Klitschko. Next fight, your first fight in America, and you've been absolutely decapitated. So he was the biggest hype job ever. Even actually, if you watch his run to Olympic gold, there was questionable decisions in his fights, even in his Olympic final. So it's like, he got gifted an Olympic gold and then molded into this guy that's like pure good guy Anthony Joshua. Like, and then as he started unraveling, like, his whole actual personality came out, we get molded into this whole good guy Anthony Joshua. Guy's clean cut, nothing wrong with him. Like,
good-looking guy,
blah blah blah. But it was like a mark. He's like a product of the machine. You know what I mean? Like, so there you go. That's my guy.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Like, I think that. Well, firstly, I think that the Fury Anthony Joshua fight, if that ever happens, Fury's going to destroy him.
Yeah,
that is my opinion on that. I
No,
think
I
that Fury would just, they wouldn't even be worth watching. Like, that's my opinion on it.
Definitely.
I think that Anthony Joshua potentially, after he got knocked out the first time by Ruiz, is that how you say it? Ruiz.
Yeah.
Ruiz. I think that destroyed his confidence.
Oh, definitely.
I think it really rocked him mentally, and I think that then was an issue down the line. Like, he didn't have the mental strength after he got taken out by that guy.
Definitely. And he probably always knew, like, again, he got rocked in the amateurs. He got rocked in fights before the Ruiz knockout. But when he got knocked out, he ended up, like, afraid to throw punches because he didn't want to get knocked out again. Then the problem was he fought Ngannou and decapitated him.
Yeah.
But that guy's not a boxer.
He's a UFC fighter. The fact he can even step in the ring with these guys is insane.
Exactly. So then... And then everyone's like, oh, Anthony Joshua's back. But he's not. He's just knocked out a guy that's...
It's a hype fight.
Literally had one boxing fight ever.
Yeah.
And you're like... Or no boxing fights ever. So you're like... It was just... It's like as good as Misfits. You know?
What's your thoughts on the whole YouTube boxing thing?
I like it. I think some of them are decent.
Like Jake Paul, what's your...
I don't mind. I think he's... Do you know what? I think he trains hard. And he's everybody hates on him because he's a YouTuber. But the guy's made his money elsewhere. And then he puts a lot of money into training himself. But actually, he funnels money down because on his undercards, he's got a lot of pro boxers on it. And they get paid well. And then he's got his promotional company, which he now promotes all the females. Amanda Serrano and I think he's got Chantel Cameron and Ellie Scottney and stuff. Like, these are all like girls getting paid mega for and what they're worth. And even some of the guys that have been on his undercard are all getting paid what they're worth. So I really respect what he's doing. I get why everyone hates him, but I don't. I think like,
he's playing a part, right?
Definitely.
Like people hated Floyd Mayweather, but that's why they tuned into the fights.
Definitely.
And like he knew that, so he could play the devil because he knew that by playing that character, people would tune into his.
He's
fights.
a businessman. He's a smart businessman as well. So
Exactly.
It's like,
exactly.
I don't mind it.
And I think he's quite small. Like I think that the people that go ballistic at people like Jake Paul are quite small-minded in the way that they approach it because they think he's a dick. He shouldn't be boxing. But they're still commenting and watching the fights. Yeah. So they're part of that problem, if they want to call it that in the first place.
Yeah.
But also you need to look at what Jake Paul's actually doing for the industry.
Definitely.
An industry that is underrepresented, in my opinion. I think that more people should be tuning into these. Is now getting more eyes on it than ever because he's bringing the younger audience, his audience, in with him.
100%. And people give it the whole like, oh, Jake Paul, bad for boxing, like, he's a clown, he's terrible, he's getting all this exposure in media and blah, 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 blah. Whereas, let's say me, for example, he's not getting paid that much, he's not getting thingy, but he's training just as hard. Well, whether he was doing that or not, I would still be getting the same as what I'm getting. Yeah. So what does it matter?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it doesn't impact you.
It doesn't impact us at all, but then other people's arguments like, oh, he should be getting that, he should be doing this. Why is he not getting that much exposure? Well, I'm no a reality TV star or a
YouTuber,
whatever he is. So, like, that's why. Yeah. Simple. Like, numbers generate numbers. People's stature generates the money,
the interest.
Exactly. So.
And Anthony Joshua would decapitate him.
Oh, of course. Like, let's not be silly now, but I don't think that'll ever happen. I know that it's getting linked to Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul's getting, but that'll never happen. I don't think in a million years.
Why not? Just because of the weight difference? Just because of the skill difference?
Just skill difference, weight difference. Like, I don't think it's just wouldn't. I don't like Jake Paul, good businessman, and like tie your name to Anthony Joshua and blah 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 blah. But like when push comes to shove, I don't think he's deluded enough to think he has any competition whatsoever.
He's come out and just been like, yeah, I do.
If he goes, if he was ever to go for it, like, you have to respect it, but he'd get decapitated.
Yeah, I think so. Next question. If you could fight Usyk, how would you beat him?
Oh, don't know. I actually don't know.
Unbeatable.
I honestly do think like he's the only person that's ever like made him uncomfortable, which sounds stupid, is like Chisora and stuff. Like, you just need to get in and just rough him right up and flank. Like, he doesn't like getting, even Tyson Fury like roughed him up and gave him the old dirty tactics and like lean on him, fling him, make him be uncomfortable and take away his distance. That's the only way you could even hope to upset him a bit. But if you let him do what he wants to do and stand off,
his fight.
It's his fight, and he can make his fight very easily. So, like, you would need to be very, very fit, very, very strong, and just put it right on him and try and rough him up and just be nasty.
I think you're absolutely right, and that's why I was so upset at the last Fury Usyk fight.
Aye.
Because I was like, Fury needs the first 3 rounds to be his, and he needs to kick the living shit out of him in the first 3 rounds. And he just didn't.
Nah.
It was just Usyk's match from the get go. Fury was terrified of getting knocked out, and you could see it. Like I feel like where I wanted Dubois, I thought Dubois would have had something, because I thought, right, Dubois is younger and he's not afraid of getting knocked out. I was like, if he goes for it in the first 3 rounds with his strength behind him, because he's a great boxer, potentially he's got it, but he just didn't.
Nah.
Just didn't do it.
Nice. Dubois knew as well what was coming.
The party thing probably sealed that deal.
Aye, definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Okay, this is a stupid one. I think I know who's asked this as well. Mike Tyson Prime versus Usyk. Who wins?
Oof, that's a hard question. Because I know I said earlier, Mike Tyson Prime, you don't really want to fight.
And he's the kind of guy that stormed the gate and come out swinging.
Storm the gate. That's a tricky one, actually.
But then he'd get gassed quick.
Aye, quick. I'm going to controversially say Usyk here.
You think?
Yeah, I think... I think he'd be able to deal with the pressure for the first 5-6 rounds, and then I think Tyson wouldn't. I don't know. That's a hard one. Prime Tyson v Prime Usyk.
Because surely Tyson's going to come out first 6 rounds of his, and then Usyk has his way. But if Tyson gets him within that period,
I've just never seen Usyk hurt or
showing it
bothered, or like he's never like even against Dubois and
Fury got knocked. There was one knock with Fury. That's the only time I've ever seen it.
You know what? I'm just going to change my answer. I'm going to say Prime Tyson, because I just think if Prime Tyson hits you, you're going to sleep.
You're gone. You're gone. He's like a fucking rhino.
The way
he's built, he's like massive shoulders, and his head, like his neck's merged with his, like he's just like, he's built like a gorilla, man. Like he's just humongous. Prime Mike Tyson against Tyson Fury.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
there's not even any questions about that.
I don't think there's any questions. I would agree with you there. I think, I think Mike Tyson's got that one. If you could fight anyone dead or alive, who would it be?
Probably whoever the worst boxer ever is in the whole world, as long as I was getting paid for it, and then that would have been an easy night's work.
That's a great answer.
I'd like to have fought, if I can fight anybody dead or alive, whoever's got the world title at my weight, right? That's who I want to fight dead or alive.
Yeah.
Don't know, Floyd Mayweather, because that's my guy. That's my hero.
Interesting, because that's the last question. Floyd, how would you beat Floyd Mayweather?
I wouldn't.
Did you not think?
Nah.
Is this the only guy that you're going to say you'd get beat against?
Yeah.
You think?
Because he's just too good.
Is he the dream? Is it like meeting Floyd Mayweather? Would he be?
I met him in Vegas a couple of years ago.
Cool guy.
It was just a brief one. I was in Vegas for Mayweather Pacquiao.
Yeah.
And he'd finished like his stuff and had went up to the interview bit, and then before they started, I'd shouted him, and he was like signing all my stuff and all that. So
that's fucking awesome.
It was brilliant.
That's awesome. What did you get signed? Did you get a t-shirt?
I got like 3 or 4 hats signed, a program, and so I was getting him to sign everything so I can sell it. I was like, sign that. I've still got it all.
Yeah.
That's the guy that I've always just thought, like, see throughout all boxing, like he's always been the one that I was like, oh mate, imagine you could box like Mayweather. He was just so skilled.
Like looking up to him.
Aye.
That's awesome, man. Well, last question, because we're almost at 2 hours. Who's your inspiration?
I don't know. I don't know.
We've heard different. I've heard so many different answers. Some people say their family. Some like Sione Tuipulotu, the rugby player, said Floyd Mayweather. Literally, there's people that have said so many different. Like
why? Why did he say Floyd Mayweather?
He said when him and his, I think it was maybe his brother were growing up, they would watch Floyd Mayweather and were besotted by his work ethic. The fact he'd like go to a party and run home in jeans, like that kind of stuff is what instilled the work ethic in Sione and his family. So that's why that was the inspiration for him.
I honestly don't know. I don't really have an answer for it. Like, there's not one person that could pick out and go, that inspired me or that person inspired me. Like,
say your fiance and then they will be happy wife, happy life.
Nah, but it's like, I boxed for years before I even met her. Like, you know, my coach works a full-time job and always, no matter what, he was at the gym, ready to go. No matter what, he was there on Saturdays running, ready to go. So, like, for the last 12 years, for no financial gain, he's always been there ready to go. And then, like, same with my dad. Like, my dad was a lorry driver, drove constant night shifts, day shifts, weekends, whatever, to try and, like, buy me the best sparring kit. Then, no matter how tired he was, he would drive me to the gym.
Yeah.
He would drive me to fights that were miles away. He would literally do anything to make sure I could get to boxing. So it's like, there's been people throughout my time that have helped me so much that I just can't let them down. So, like, that's I don't know if that would count as an inspiration.
Yeah,
it's not. It's like not inspired me. I'm actually got a fear of letting people down.
Is
over being inspired.
Yeah, it's everyone that's given stuff to you to make your career what it is today.
Yeah, today.
That you want to give back to.
Definitely.
And you don't want to let them down.
There's not like I'm not like, oh, that person, seeing that person do that's made me so inspired, i.e. Floyd Mayweather stuff. Like, I grew up, I watched Floyd Mayweather's highlight videos and training videos. Yeah. I grew up and I watched Roy Jones. I grew up and I watched Gervonta now, and like, they're all cool people and I like what they're doing and their stuff's cool, and you're like, oh man, that's cool. I'd love to live like that, blah, blah, blah. But really, it's like the fear of letting these people that have put all their life into me and believed in, like, you're going to go all the way. So, that's my inspiration, is to not let people down.
I mean, it makes sense, and it's a pretty strong motivator. A pretty strong motivator. Well, listen, mate, I just want to say a huge thank you. Like, you've just made the way in all the way from where, I don't want to say where you stay publicly, but from where you stay. So I really appreciate it. And I know you're training hard at the moment, and I'll tune into your next fight. And I need to come to the gym as well. Yeah, definitely. You should come along, because I think you'd be into the stuff that we're doing. I think so. I think you destroy me. And if anybody else is listening to this and they want to get in about it, yeah, it's open to everyone. So. And when's your fight exactly? Just so my fight's 4th of October. It's in Braehead Arena. You can contact me directly on Instagram, Nathaniel Collins, or on Facebook for tickets, and I can sort them out. And a big thank you for having me on. Big thanks to my coach, my missus, my family for giving me all the help that they've gave me, and a big thanks to my sponsors as well, because actually it's something we never touched on there, and I think, like, it's something important to cover, is it's very, 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 very hard to make it in this sport without sponsors helping you financially, or with services in whatever way they can, because we travel all over the UK. Yeah. I've got nutritionists, I've got strength conditioning coaches, you know what I mean? Like, that's not cheap, it's not easy. It's like, other people are out running businesses to help me get to where I need to get to in my career. So a big thank you to all them. Who are the sponsors? I've got a couple of companies, E&P, Bricklaying Services. I've got Union Technical, who sponsor a heck of a lot of boxers, a heck of a lot of teams. You know, they're really big for helping people in sport in Glasgow. I've got MGN Fire Protection Services. I've got Top Scaffolding, MCN, L Solutions, and do you know what? I should just turn round and there we go. Show you my t-shirt. You know what? I always do this. I probably forgot somebody. No, but that's awesome, man. Like, the fact that they're still supporting, and yeah, definitely. And it's sometimes I've met these people randomly. Sometimes they've contacted me, and from the first fight that they ever come to support me, they've stayed there. So some of these guys have been supporting me for 3-4 years. Every fight. Some people have just came on now, but might have never heard of me. But it's like, I truly believe the ones that helped me when I had nothing and I didn't have any publicity and I didn't have any help are like a big priority for me to make sure. Yeah. You know what, I do make it again. It's more people that I don't want to let down, but like, yous have totally believed in me and financially invested a lot of money in me that
potentially they'll never get back. Yes, it's advertisement. Yes, it's you're on DAZN or your company logo's on this and that. But in the grand scheme of things, they've just believed in me.
Yeah.
They might never get nothing back from it, and they've just thought, we want to get this guy to the top. And I think that's amazing. And
Super
I think there's
important.
loads of people who are coming up in sport who don't have anything and do have to work a full-time job or have to juggle their sport with that, and they shouldn't have to. And we'd have a lot more athletes doing better in Scotland if businesses and people got behind them. So
Yeah. And the government didn't tax the shit out
Yes.
of everyone.
aye,
What we'll do is we'll put send us the links after, and we can put all the links in the description as well.
Brilliant.
Just so that they get some visibility on that kind of stuff.
brilliant.
Well, thank you so much, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having us on.